Google recently tweeted that they are opening access to Google Bard, and it has finally become the moment because it has been over a month since Bard was announced. However, we've never gotten open access. And even though they have only launched it in the United States and the United Kingdom, I was able to get access myself, and I'm located in France. I'll show you in a minute. And apparently, if you're a Pixel user, you get extra benefits and you get even faster early access. So to join the Google Bard's waitlist, you would simply go to bard.google.com, click the button Join Waitlist, and you don't even have to opt in to receive email updates. At the bottom right of the screen, you just have yes, I'm in, and that's it. You've been added to the waitlist. It's as simple as that. However, if you are not in a country that is United States or United Kingdom, you would get a message that says Bard isn't currently supported in your country, stay tuned. However, there is a workaround it, and you can simply use a VPN for that. So I've used TunnelBear VPN. It has worked great for me. They give you like 2 GB. I'm obviously not sponsored. You just put in United States or United Kingdom. Both would work perfectly fine. Refreshing the page and you would have the button there. I'm already added to the waitlist. And that's it if you want to join the waitlist as is. However, if you are a Pixel user, and this is just one of those Google smartphones, because Pixel superfans were getting invites to try Google Bard. And Pixel superfan, if you don't know, it's basically a community where you get like private access to Q&As with Google Teams, special events, limited edition merchandise, and priority access to features like Google Bard. Okay, and I actually found a form that you can fill in if you're a Pixel user to join this Pixel superfan community. And I'll put this link in the description of the video. And yeah, that is pretty much all for how to access the Google Bard. And I actually wanted to talk about the Google Bard itself. Like, we've got new screenshots that have come out, people have been using it, and there's actually a guy called Lance Yulanov. He is a tech radar guy. It's basically just a source of tech news, and he's been testing Google Bard recently a lot. And so I found this article in Tech Radar where they talk about like how the Google Bard looks like, what kind of features it has to offer. And the first one they talked about is design. So obviously the UI is like super bright. Obviously it's very intuitive, like you understand this is from Google. And first thing first, what came to my eye was the fact that at the bottom there is a Google It button. So in the experiment mode of Google Bard, it's obvious like it's a separate window, unlike the new Bing, which is more of a sidebar where you get an answer straight away with the search results on the left. And the next thing I noticed was the voice input, and that is something new Bing has in their mobile app, but they don't have it in their desktop, like in the browser itself. And the next cool feature is that apparently you can view other drafts, and this is sort of like regenerate answer in ChatGPT. However, you get them straight away. So by pressing, you have those 3 drafts. However, it does tell me that Google Bard is highly undeveloped and they're just collecting information to see which drafts are better. Hopefully they will remove it because it does look a bit unclean, so you have to decide for yourself. And on top of this like chronological history feature, you also get to edit the text of questions you already asked, and you can restart the conversation from any point. You can basically go back and forth in the conversation, which is pretty cool. When they reviewed performance, the thing that struck me the most was the fact that Bard spits out lengthy answers in a blink. So it looks like Google wants to outcompete with ChatGPT that is super slow in the free version, or with new Bing, which is also kinda slow at giving replies. However, here's something weird about Google Bard. Unlike new Bing, which gives you as many sources as possible, which can be like tens of sources on the same page and you just reference it for yourself, which is really good. Bard, on the other hand, does not cite sources as much as new Bing does. Another flaw of Google Bard is the fact that it repeats itself and it doesn't seem to reread the work that it has provided. So for example, here they ask to brutally honestly review the movie Shazam! Fury of Gods. Google Bard says kinda liked the movie, but he kinda didn't, which is good. It does a critical opinion. It says, for example, however, the film is not without its flaws. The plot is a bit predictable. The pacing can be slow at times. But later at the bottom, just kinda said the exact same thing, but in the form of bullet points. So for example, here are some of the things I didn't like about the film. And again, it mentions those 3 points. And the exact same applies to what I liked about the film. So it seems that Google Bard is underperforming because, for example, GPT-4 was made to be more concise, give better summaries, and spend less on those water answers and be like more punchy. However, Google Bard is really falling behind, so they have a lot of work to do. That is actually not the only issue it has. It's reported that it keeps giving wrong answers to people. This is again linking back to Lance Ulanov. He asked Google Bard, what is Tech Radar? And it said, Tech Radar is a document that helps teams identify, evaluate new technologies. Overall, the answer is really good. However, later on, he then asked, is that the same thing as Tech Radar? But the difference here is he capitalized the letters and he removed the space. Then Google Bard said, no, Tech Radar is a document that helps teams identify and evaluate new technologies. So it gives the exact same answer, but Bard contradicted itself right after giving the previous answer. So it didn't even take like a long chat history. It was a straight on mistake. And then the next he asked, who is Lance Ulanov? And if you actually Google him, you get a pretty good Google answer. You get those snippets that he's an American commentator. So he's pretty popular. However, when Google Bard was asked, who is Lance Ulanov? It said, I'm just a language model, so I can't help you with that. What it tells me is it's bad at citing sources. They probably underdeveloped the code, and they've had a lot of issues where employees were like raging at the CEO that he's releasing the Google Bard too early because it's underdeveloped. So yeah, that brings me to the end of the video. Again, don't forget to join the waitlist just to try out Google Bard for yourself. And plus, it's always good to give them more information about how you use it. It's kind of frustrating that we are seeing a lot of mistakes in Google Bard, and considering that it's a tech giant with like thousands of employees, unlike Runway, for example, who recently announced the text-to-video research that they're doing, Runway Gen 2, and they only have 45 employees behind the whole system. So in my honest opinion, they have to do a lot of work to outcompete New Bing, let alone outcompete GPT-4. Let's hope for the best, and I'll see you in the next video.